Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you can get all the videos on timely manner.
Switch for the past year. I picked this thing up from Best Buy for $300. Initially ordered one from Walmart. They never had it for me. First I have to pay respects. But I'm just here to talk about it. I've had this thing. It's been real with this thing. Haven't actually used it a ton. I will explain why. So let's start off with the design. It's got this I love the design. Love it. It's got this nice tablet-looking screen. It's almost like looks like those cheap tablets you might find at Best Buy, like the Insignia branded one. Looks like that when you look at it this way and you take the Joy-Cons off. But it's a lot more than that. On the side, you have the color Joy-Cons or the gray Joy-Cons, depends what you order. I personally bought the color because, you know, I want to stand out. Can't be a boring-ass fucker. But on top, you have your power button, your volume switch, your vents, and I believe this is your, what's this? Oh, your game card slot. On the bottom, you have a kickstand, your charging port, and under the kickstand, you have a micro SD card slot that I haven't used. Pretty lit. So, that's kind of about it for the design. It's pretty simple. The dock down there, you've probably seen it by now. It's been out for a year. I'm not going to bother to go into it on the dock. But it's got in the back, it's got a USB-C port to connect to the power adapter, a regular USB port for expandable storage, I believe, and a HDMI port for connecting up to your TV. So let's talk about my experience using it. We talk about the design, gotta explain my experience using it. I've really enjoyed using it. I don't use it a ton because I buy these nice consoles. I have a PS4 Pro down there, and then I often don't buy a lot of games for them, and then I just trade them in, but that's besides the point. I've only had 2 games for it. 3, actually. I had Breath of the Wild. I heard it was great. I'm just not a huge Zelda person, so I didn't enjoy it that much. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is awesome. It looks great on it, and it's great you can take it on the go. And the last one I have is ARMS. Don't buy ARMS. Just don't. And it's really, I've had no issues in terms of graphics. The graphics look great, especially on the tablet, and they still look pretty good. I have a 4K TV. I might do a video on this. Tell me if you want me to do a video on it in the comments. But, yeah, that's kind of about it. It's really smooth. There was a little bit of issues with Breath of the Wild since that's a really graphically intense game. But, overall, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. Let's talk about the display. The display has some really good colors. It's a really nice display. And honestly, it competes with any tablet, really. It's a 720p display, 720p, which means 1280 by 720, which is basic HD. But on its screen size, I think it's a 7-inch. It's perfectly fine. And the nice thing about it compared to something like an iPad is it's 16 by 9. It's got that. It feels good in the hands. Let's talk about the Joy-Con. Now, the Joy-Cons, don't use them separately. They're an ergonomic mess. But in a pinch, they work, but they're an ergonomic mess. This, honestly, like, holding it like this, doesn't feel too bad. Really doesn't. It's just it's what you'd expect. It reminds me in some ways of the Wii U gamepad, but better. Much better. It's like if they took the Wii U gamepad and made it a million times better. That's the best way of putting it. So let's talk about, I don't know, battery life. I found the battery life to be iffy. It's been average. I'm not going to say it's good battery life. It's not had necessarily bad battery life. It has on like Breath of the Wild. But on an average game like a Mario Kart or an ARMS, it's been pretty solid. Don't know. I'm not one to use like exact amounts, but you know, it's been pretty good. But not great. It's good, not great. I'll leave it at that. And finally, well, actually, no, not finally. Let's talk about its use as a media player. It can't be used as a media player in the same way like an Xbox or a PS4 can. or an NVIDIA Shield. That's more of a pure media player with gaming on the side, but you get the idea. It really doesn't work. It doesn't have like Spotify, it doesn't have Netflix, so you're using it more as a game console. I guess the last thing we should talk about is the game selection, which is pretty good. It's got a lot of key games. It's got games like ARMS, Mario Kart, Splatoon, Breath of the Wild. It's got a lot of those Nintendo first-party games. I haven't ran into too many third-party games. NBA 2K18 is on it. I don't think many of my viewers like that game, but I do. I don't have it on. I have it on my PS4 Pro. And supposedly it's getting Fortnite. So keep out for that. And I might be doing some mad Fortnite on the go. Like, can you picture me Wi-Fiing at my hotel doing some mad Fortnite? I'm actually really ass at Fortnite, I have you know. Like, really, really ass. But, you know, whatever. I'm not sure how much else to talk about. It's a really nice console. Now, my question is... The question is, not my question, what am I saying? The question is, would I recommend it for $300? And like everything else that I review, it kind of depends. If it's... The game selection is a lot of first-party stuff. If you're not into Nintendo first-party stuff, don't get this. If you want third-party games, you're better off getting an Xbox or a PS4. That's a definite. If you play some first-party games and want a couple third-party games, yeah, maybe it's worth it. But if you're a Nintendo first-party person, you have to get this. This is where I think they're going to kill off the 3DS. I actually traded mine in before the value tanks. And there was a reason for it, and that's because I think everything's going to move over here. This console has so much potential, and I think there's a lot they can do with it. It's like when they have players recovering from injuries in sports. It's like this is like 80% healthy, not 100% healthy. It's got so much potential, and it's almost reached it, but there's just a couple more things they can do. I'm not sure of anything specific. It just doesn't feel complete yet, but it's really, really close. So that's kind of about it. Talking about the Nintendo Switch. It's a game console. There's not too much to talk about. So I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, slap the like button, subscribe.